Searchlight is in Clark County, Nevada, on US 95, south of Boulder City, between Boulder City and Canaveral, or the state line with California. Now it's 4 lanes divided all the way to Searchlight, and then through Canaveral it's not, and then it is almost, or if not all the way to the California border. Didn't used to be like this. Now one day, I gotta say I had the Sabre, and I'm fairly sure, but I'm not positive. It was the trip that I had just bought it. I didn't have plates yet, and Charlie was home on leave from the service for something. I just can't remember. Anyway, he had a CB900, and I had the Sabre by now, and we had ridden out to Vegas in the summer, and I remember, though I don't have the picture anymore, taking the picture in front of a bank in Boulder City, and it's 110 degrees on the sign. I mean, this is, it's hot. So we come out of Boulder City, and we ride south on the Boulder, we come out of Boulder City north, because you got to get north to get to 95 off of 93, where 93 and 95 split. Now it's a freeway intersection. But then it was just a left turn. So we right up there and we turn left, and it's 2-lane rural Nevada highway. And there's not nearly the traffic that there is now, because Laughlin just wasn't Laughlin yet. I think it was just the Riverside, and that was about it. Anyway, there's nobody out there, Christ Jesus. So we're cruising, and when I tell you how fast, I'm not like I'm bragging or saying, I'm a speeder, but I had a bike with 125 horsepower that weighed 600 pounds. It went as fast as I wanted. So Charlie CB900 topped out right about 125. So he was going 125, and I'm going 125. And there's just nobody out there. Well, way out in the distance, we see flashing lights, red and blue, and he sees them and I see them. So we just kind of, we don't jam on the brakes, but we just kind of back off the throttles, and we get down to, it was either 55 or 65 or 70 or whatever it was. And we ride by the officer who was on a car stop at exactly the speed limit. And we look and turn at him, and he turns and looks at us, and it's like he knew, and we knew, and we knew that he knew. So after we got past him, we sped up and we rode into Searchlight, and it wasn't quite as developed as it is now, but there was a gas station, pretty good sized snack store, and it's 187,000 degrees outside. So, and I still wore a jacket. In fact, I was wearing an Ace jacket. And so we bought our drinks, and we got off the bikes, and we were sitting there on the curb having our, the parking stop, having our drinks. And there goes the NHP officer, pulls right in, looks at us, we're looking at him. He buys his stuff. We're not done yet. He walks out, and he heads south towards Canaveral. Well, I told my brother, I said, look, he's waiting for us. So we need to watch our speed until we literally get out of Nevada, because we're going to ride all the way down 95 until it hooks on the Interstate 40, just west of Needles, up the grade, and then we're going to, ride the Barcells, stay over, and right home. So he agrees with me. So we drink our drinks, and we, use the bathroom, and we saddle back up, and we ride out of town. And let me tell you something. If you're ever through Searchlight, if you're through any rural Nevada town, you better watch your speed. You need to scrupulously drive the speed limit. As I can assure you, if you're speeding and you have an out-of-state plate, you're getting a ticket. There ain't no doubt about this. So, in fact, one time, I had the registration on the Sabre in my back pocket, and we had stayed, or we're riding through Tonopah, and we're riding south on on 95, US 95. And Tonopah sits oddly in Nye County. It sits on the literal border with Esmeralda County. The Tonopah does right there. In fact, the campground that we stayed at the last time I was in Tonopah was actually not in Tonopah, but it was in Esmeralda County. So it's kind of odd right there. Anyway, the NHP get literally right behind me, and I got the sticker in my pocket, and Charlie's riding with me, and we're not speed. I mean, we see this guy right behind us. He followed us all the way to the county line, and then he turned around and we just went ahead and left. So anyway, we get back on 95 and we're watching our speed because we know this guy's there. Anyway, we get to Cal Navari and we see him hidden, and we ride right by and look at him, and then we figured, okay, there's nobody between Cal Navari and the state line. It's just him. So we crank the speed up to 100 or whatever, and there you go. So that's my Searchlight story. You better watch your speed in the Searchlight. Now, I'm telling you 2 more things. If you head to the west, I don't have a map handy. Hold on. Let me check this. If you take Nevada 164 west or east from Searchlight, you ride through some pretty countryside if you like the desert, and then you come down the hill into the Colorado River Valley, and there's a place called Cottonwood Cove. Now, the last time that I went down there, they rent houseboats there, and I thought, oh man, what an awesome place to houseboat on Lake Mojave, which is probably not as big and rough as Lake Mead. Well, Lake Mead is huge. I mean, Lake Mojave isn't that big. But anyway, if you turn east right there, that's what you see. If you turn west right there on Nipton Road, which, let me look at the map here, it's also Nevada 164. You cross the state line into California. You ride through the little hamlet of Nipton, which is right on the railroad, because the freeway and the railroad are not close right here. And you ride all the way to the intersection at Interstate 15, which I think is about the last intersection before you get to the Nevada state line and Prim. Now, I think if you head west, some of you may be thinking of Zizix Road, ZZYZX, and I think it's west of that. So anyway, that's my Searchlight Nevada, little Nevada story. Thank you for watching Storytime with Joe, and there you go.